Hey, what is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I is, the good doc, Dr. Mike, back again, once again, with another classic, inquisitive video for you guys today, all right? Hope you guys are blessed. Like, subscribe. Everything you need to know about me listed in the link in the description area below. I apologize, guys. This video was done on the fly. I had some questions that were popping up in the comment section of a previous video that I felt needed some addressing, so I kind of felt like it was time for me to go ahead and throw this together real quick for you guys, okay? So the question is, can black men date Korean girls in Korea? Now, this has been a long-standing issue in reference to going into different cultures, coming from different backgrounds, and them being accepting of you and your particular cultural background and allowing you to, for lack of a better term, date women in the country. Now, again, nobody really determines whether you can date a woman in the country or not. But if you think about it, the culturalism and I'm trying to find the right words, guys. I apologize if I can't get them right. You guys know what I'm trying to say, but you know how you come into a country and you kind of feel like maybe they're not dating foreigners like they are in other countries. Whatever that word I'm trying to find, I'm sure you guys will be able to let me know. But I wanted to tackle this from a very strategic approach. Okay, in this particular video, I'm going to speak on my experiences in Davao City dealing with the Indian individuals that come there. Then we're going to transition our way into the Cebu area. Okay, so many of you guys know I did the video about how the Indian individuals are taking over over Davao City. All right. They're coming in as medical students, cheap medical schools, and how expensive it is in their home country and how hard it is to get into medical school in their own home country is one of the main reasons why they're choosing to travel to the Philippines. More specifically, Davao, because Davao has a very affordable, at least is what they've told me, a very affordable medical school there as opposed to a place like Cebu and also Manila. They're probably going to be on the higher end. Okay. So in Davao, I kind of feel like the Indian girls normally just date the Indian guys, okay? They are not actively being sought out by Filipino men, nor are they actively sought out by foreign guys. So I kind of feel like it's natural for them to date amongst themselves, okay? So the women, like I said, I have no problem with them. I have zero problem dating an Indian young lady. Sounds like a interesting time if you ask me, but in hindsight, if we think about it, normally the girls, they date just the guys, okay? Now let's talk about it from the male perspective, the Indian male perspective. The Indian guys are limitly, and I say this loosely, but limitly dating Filipino women. These relationships are few and far between, in my opinion, because again, Filipinas may not be readily seeking relationships with these individuals, and this may come mainly because of how they might be judged by others. Let's be honest, Filipino people do care what others think about who they date. Some don't care, the majority do care. Now, this is an interesting perspective, and I'm going to try to tread lightly because, again, I mean this video with no effing disrespect. But let me try to get this right, all right? Dating a black guy, black American, nobody's, you might have a couple people who might be like, whatever, but most time, all good. White guys, of course, all good. Certain other races, probably all good. But when it comes to certain groups of individuals, certain groups, they have preconceived notions about these individuals, one. Number two, they have their own thought processes in the foods in which they consume and how that particular aroma may come out in the skin of these particular individuals. So I have heard time and time again, people make references. These are Filipino people more specifically. Again, no disrespect from the good doc. I've heard Filipino people in general make references to this sometimes. And this as to a reason why they may not actually be actively seeking these particular men to date as far as the foreigner base is concerned. So that was what I've been hearing. That's been the direct tone, the baseline that I've been hearing consistency across the board, certain things like that. That was one of the reasons why they were not actively sought out as a group of individuals that Filipinos are likely to date. Now, for those that choose to date, I 100% applaud them. They don't give two shits and a damn about what they think. And there are some relationships out there where Filipino women are with Indian guys. There are relationships where Filipinos are with a bunch of different guys, okay? A lot of you say they don't see black, they don't see white, they only see green. But in some situations, sometimes the money is just not worth it. So again, at the end of the day, that's just my own thought process. You take that how you want to, and you run the full mile with it. I don't care. All right. But as we transition into Cebu area and Korean women, some people have been asking me, Doc, can black men date Korean girls in the Philippines? And I'm going to go ahead and use a reference and a quick example. My brother, my older brother, that's my ride or die. That's my ace boon coon to the day that I die. He was stationed in Korea. And I'm not here to talk on anybody else's situation because I'm not there and I'm not living their life. But from what I've noticed and from what we've talked about and from what I've seen, there was zero problem with him transitioning to a life in Korea while he was stationed there. And there was zero problem with him actually transitioning to the dating scene. Not saying that it's going to be easy, but he didn't seem to have any issues or problems dating Korean girls in Korea. So to take that particular thought process and, transition it from Koreans moving into the Philippines and foreigners moving into the Philippines, as a black man, I don't really see there being any issue with you dating Korean women at all in the country. As a matter of fact, I will make reference to this in a later video, I am sure. But if you gave me the opportunity, I honestly believe that I, Dr. Mike TV, if I lived in Cebu full time and I was single, I think that I would actively seek trying to date a Korean young lady. You want to know why I say that? You can get a Filipina anywhere. No disrespect, I love y'all too. But you can date a Filipina in any part of the Philippines. You understand? It's very rare that you have the opportunity, unless you go to Korea, to actually date an authentic, and the doc really stresses the word authentic, Korean type of female. Okay, you can date a Korean in the United States. You kind of have a 50-50 chance of that being an Americanized situation, right? Situation. But for the most part, when they transition from Korea directly into the Philippines, they're holding on to their very own traditions and customs. A lot of them are coming in and learning to speak Visayan, like I mentioned in the video. But I kind of feel like if I had the opportunity, if I was still single, I honestly would actively pursue a relationship with a Korean young lady, especially if I was in Cebu, because I could date a Filipina anywhere in the country I am. I could date them in Davao, I could date them in Manila, I could date them in Dumaguete, I can date them in Bohol, Iloilo, you name it. Any place in the Philippines I go to, I could date a Filipina. But how often can you say that you may have the opportunity to actively pursue a Korean young lady, unless you're actually in Korea? So that's just me. How you feel about it, I don't care. And I think that would not be an issue or a problem. I've had interactions with the Korean people since I've been in Cebu. They're fucking awesome for the most part. Now, like I said, I don't know you deeply enough to be able to tell everybody that you guys are all cool and shit. But for the most part, the interactions and dialogues that I've shared with them, sometimes the English has been a little bit limited. But for the interaction, they seem like very humbled people. They seem like very happy to be in the Philippines, no different than other foreigners are. And they seem to really be okay and open to the idea of. And it really seems to strike a chord with me, because when I talk about it from this perspective, they really do like being able to interact with people who speak good English, because again, it's a way for them to practice their English. As I mentioned before, a lot of them come to the Philippines to go to English schools so that they can learn to speak English, because English is the international language. All right. So every interaction I've ever had with anybody that was Korean in the Philippines, awesome, guys. And honestly, I do see there being opportunities for black men to be able to date Korean women. White guys, you guys already know you guys are straight. Don't worry about it. This is why it's not. That's why I'm not mentioning y'all shit, because y'all should probably know by now. I don't think you should have an issue. But in reference to the Korean guys in the Philippines, just in case I want to throw that in there. Oh man, they have the pick of the litter, man. You know, K-pop is like the biggest thing ever in the country. So these women are fawning and just throwing themselves at most of these guys. And if you even look halfway decent or look halfway to the part, they're getting all the girls, you know, especially in the Cebu area. So again, as far as the dating aspect for Korean guys in the Philippines, they kind of have this, I would put them on the same status line right now as your Caucasian males, no doubt in my mind. But again, just wanted to throw this particular video together because a lot of guys were asking me, Doc, man, can black men date Korean girls in the Philippines? You gosh darn right we can. And I would actively pursue one if I was single. Love you, mean one. If I was single, I'm telling you, man, I think I would single and living in Cebu. Let me make sure I reference that. I think I would actually actively pursue a Korean girl. Now, a lot of you guys think that they only date Korean men in the Philippines, but I don't think that's accurate. Especially if you see them interracially dating in their own home country, although limited, again, like in Cambodia and probably places like Vietnam, you know, the interracial relationships are likely limited. They are still doing it. And because they're bringing themselves to the Philippines and exposing themselves to a whole different culture and group of people, like the Filipino people, they might date Filipino guys as well, you know? So if they're willing to date Filipino guys, how can you honestly tell me that they're not going to open the window for other foreign men? Yeah, the U.S., we have a bad reputation for being a bunch of jackasses, but if you present yourself in a positive way, I kind of feel like you should be able to find a good way in. All right. That's just my thoughts. And again, I'm sorry I had to put this video together the way that I did. But I'm happy that I was able to at least try to get my notes together. All right. So you guys know what to do. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking right now. Do you think, Doc? I think you're absolutely crazy. There is no way in hell a Korean girl would date a black guy. That is just blasphemous and just non-believable. Right. Or if you believe, you know what? When they come to other foreign countries, it creates an equal opportunity for everybody, for them to be able to be open-minded to the dating aspect. Because a lot of guys like to believe, and I want to note this, that even though they're in the Philippines, they're only dating Korean guys. But you have to realize that the transition being made, there's not a lot of Korean guys as an option, you know, unless they're family. And that's the crazy thing. Let's not note that unless you into some incestual shit, you know, their dating options is probably going to be family or friends of family. So it's going to be like, dating your brother or something like that. So, or dating your brother or your sister or something like that. So again, there are a lot of different variables in this particular situation that opens the door for foreigners in general to have an opportunity to date these Korean girls, especially in the Philippines. All right. In the Korea might be a little bit more difficult. I'm not saying that it will not, but in the Philippines, I think it opens the door and also the landscape for you to be able to pursue a young lady that is of Korean descent. This has been the Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, spreading love and joy and speaking his mind and all that good shit. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You know what to do. Likes up, subscribe. Appreciate you guys being here. With that being said, the Good Doc is officially out. At least nako pa alam, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.